Coco Gauff cites Novak Djokovic example as she looks to shed persistent issue in her game. World number 3 in WTA Finals qualifier Coco Gauff has recently shared her thoughts on growing and improving her game with time, focusing on her persistent serve issues while highlighting the Serbian legend Novak Djokovic as an example. Gauff last competed at the Wuhan Open, winning the title after defeating fellow American Jessica Pegula with 6-4, 7-5. How does Coco Gauff draw inspiration from Novak Djokovic amidst serve issues? The American star is one of the players who has constantly faced challenges in her serve. She is leading the WTA Tour in double faults with 405, encountering limitations with double faults in her previous tournaments, notably at the US Open 2025. At the prestigious tournament, the US Open, Coco Gauff made 10 double faults against Ajla Tomljanovic in the first round. In the second, she made 7 against Donna Vekic and 5 in her round of 16 loss to Japanese star Naomi Osaka. However, despite making double faults, Gauff had given impressive and title-winning performances this season. She won the French Open and the Canadian Open women's doubles titles with McCartney Kessler, among other feats. While expressing her views on her serve, Gauff took the example of Novak Djokovic, the winner of 100 ATP Tour singles titles, whose serve was not honed in his early career as compared to the later stages of his career. Furthermore, Gauff also shared her thoughts on how he refined his game, becoming one of the greatest players of all time. I was looking at Novak Djokovic, and he's someone who didn't have as great of a serve in the beginning of his career, obviously different issue than me, but he just wasn't serving as strong. And he made that change and has gone on to obviously be Novak Djokovic. And even at that time he was still like a successful player, she shared via the national news. Before Wuhan, Gauff competed at the China Open, reaching the semi-final round of the tournament. What does Coco Gauff think of her serving struggles? Ahead of the US Open, Gauff had hired biomechanics expert Gavin McMillan to improve her serve. Regarding her decision, she shared her thoughts via WTA Tennis. It was like a very sudden decision. Gavin became available. I just felt this was the best decision for my game and I had to go with what I was feeling. I know Gavin has had experience with this before, so I'm hoping I can just take on his knowledge and see what can happen. McMillan played a key role in correcting world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka's serve problems, through which she was able to gain impressive feats in her career, reaching the top of the rankings. Coco Gauff has never been afraid to learn from the greats. At just 21, the American star has already won a Grand Slam, climbed to the top tier of the WTA rankings, and established herself as one of tennis's fiercest competitors. Yet, in her constant quest for improvement, Gauff has once again turned to one of the sport's ultimate problem solvers, Novak Djokovic. The world has seen Gauff's meteoric rise, but even the brightest stars cast a shadow. For her, that shadow has been a persistent inconsistency, moments when her game, especially under pressure, flickers rather than blazes. Now, Gauff is taking a page straight out of Djokovic's playbook, hoping that the same mentality and precision that turned the Serb into a tennis machine can help her eliminate the cracks that still linger in her armor. A champion's honesty. In a recent interview, Gauff was refreshingly candid about her flaws. "There are things in my game that I know I need to clean up," she admitted. "It's not about reinventing the wheel, it's about fine-tuning, about finding ways to stay composed and execute even when the pressure feels heavy. That's something Novak has done incredibly well throughout his career. It's this willingness to face her shortcomings that sets Gauff apart from many young athletes. Despite her success, including her unforgettable US Open triumph, she remains grounded in the reality that growth never stops. The persistent issue she referred to isn't just about technique, it's about rhythm, mental endurance, and maintaining clarity in the chaos of competition." Djokovic's blueprint for mastery. Novak Djokovic's career is a masterclass in adaptation. Early in his journey he was talented but erratic, prone to frustration, stamina issues, and mental lapses. Then came the transformation. Through meticulous physical conditioning, mental training, and a near-obsessive dedication to improvement, Djokovic became the ultimate example of consistency and control. Watching Novak, Gauff said, "You realize how he rarely beats himself. Even when he's not playing his best, he finds a way to stay calm and reset. That's something I'm trying to bring into my own game, not panicking when things go wrong, just staying in the moment." Indeed, Djokovic's evolution from raw talent to tennis titan is exactly the journey Gauff hopes to mirror. She has all the physical gifts, explosive speed, power, and athleticism, but her mission now is to marry those strengths with Djokovic-level mental sharpness. The mental game, from emotion to execution. One of the key traits that make Djokovic so formidable is his emotional discipline. He can turn frustration into focus, pressure into fuel. For Gauff, this is the next frontier. I'm emotional on court, that's part of who I am, she said. But I'm learning that emotion can't control you. You have to control it. This insight reveals Gauff's growing maturity. Early in her career, her passion sometimes spilled into impatience, slamming rackets, overhitting, or doubting herself mid-match. But as she's developed, she's begun to transform that fire into strategy. Watching Djokovic meditate during changeovers or visualize victory before a match has inspired her to approach tennis not just as a battle of shots, but of minds. Technical tweaks inspired by the Serb. Beyond mindset, Gauff has also drawn from Djokovic's technical mastery. The Serb's return of serve, arguably the best in history, and his ability to transition from defense to offense seamlessly are traits Gauff has studied closely. Her coaches have noted that she's been focusing more on footwork precision and shot preparation, both hallmarks of Djokovic's style. By improving her court positioning and shortening her swing under pressure, she hopes to eliminate the unforced errors that sometimes haunt her during tight sets. Just as Djokovic revamped his serve and fitness to become nearly unbreakable, Gauff is in the process of reshaping her own fundamentals. It's not just about copying him, she clarified. It's about understanding the principles that make him great: adaptability, balance, timing, and finding my version of that. Learning to love the grind. Djokovic's longevity and dominance stem from his obsession with process, the daily, unseen grind. Gauff, who has often spoken about her love of improvement, resonates deeply with that philosophy. Tennis is a sport that rewards patience, she said. You can't rush greatness. You have to love the small steps, the practice sessions that no one sees, the tough days where you feel off. Novak's discipline reminds me that those days matter most. Her willingness to embrace discomfort has been evident this season. Even after big wins, she's been quick to point out areas for improvement rather than bask in praise. That self-awareness, coupled with her growing mental steel, is turning her into not just a top player,